Welcome to Dental Success Beyond Chairside, the podcast that's dedicated to revolutionising the way dental professionals succeed beyond the dental chair. Join us for a unique blend of insightful interviews with industry experts to help you thrive in your dental specialist practice. In each 20-minute episode, we'll delve into a variety of subjects, including HR, marketing, innovative techniques and systems, and AI to help transform your practice and unlock its full potential. Whether you're a dentist or specialist looking to enhance your practice, this podcast is your go-to resource for professional, personal, and profitable success. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Dental Success Beyond Chairside. Are you and your team burning out? Are long days in surgery taking their toll on your body? Today, I'm joined by Rochelle Fisher, founder of Dental Assisting and Beyond. Rochelle recently created a program, Just Breathe, for dental teams to help support their health and wellness while caring for others all day. The stress on the body and mind in the dental world is real and can lead to burnout, poor mental health, and workplace-related injuries. Rochelle, can you share your story with us and let us know why you created this new program?
Hi, Michelle. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your podcast. I really appreciate being a guest. A little bit of my backstory. I've been a dental nurse in England and dental assistant in Australia for 27 years in total. Obviously, I'm sure there'll be many dental professions out there at the moment listening to this going, oh yeah, that's happened to me. But all day, every day, 5 days a week, we're hunched over, looking in a very small area, a lot of the time straddling legs with our dentist or dental assistant all day, whilst caring for a patient and really wanting to provide the best care for them. A lot of people have asked why I don't have any back problems, why I'm still a very positive mindset and really healthy and never really had any health issues. And I realized that I had quite a strong yoga practice that really kept me, I would say, more than anything, calm in very stressful situations when I was in surgery, especially when I was in an operating theatre, sometimes scrubbed in for a good 4 or 5 hours. I realised that it was through yoga, through meditation, through breathing correctly, managed to reduce my sick days off work where other colleagues were calling in sick. And during the wonderful 556 lockdowns that we had in Melbourne, I was able to do my yoga teacher training online, which was something that I'd wanted to do for years, but for myself, but wasn't able to do because just the time frame. So when the lockdowns happened and they brought it online, I thought, well, I'll do this for my own practice. And obviously I had my own company. And through this, I realized that it was something really big missing in the dental industry was the health and wellness section. And especially when you go into more hospitals and operating theatres and actually in general dental clinics, that you go into the tea room and what do you see? Just sugar. We're trying to promote health and wellness, but we're not actually doing it ourselves, but really just caring for people day in, day out. And we're actually burning out. So in that, I thought I really want to pass on my knowledge and try and help people in the dental profession. So I created a health and wellness yoga kind of platform that is online, and there is basically a section that is between 30 and 40 minutes of different styles of yoga practices out there, from quite strong to really lovely relaxing end of day, trying to, just reduce that kind of stress and pressure that we have on us, to then realizing that in the dental practice, not got time sometimes to let's all take an hour's break and do some yoga. It's not going to happen. A patient calls, they've broken a tooth, and then the receptionist goes, yoga's not happening today, guys. We need to see this patient. Again, we're stopping our health to look after someone else, and it's this knock-on effect. So within my program, I created these little bite-sized sections of just 5 minutes stretching in between patients. So instead of picking up our phones and looking at a bit of Instagram, Facebook, can we just take 5 minutes to do some stretching while we're actually chairside? So these videos, I'm in my scrubs, I'm on my saddle chair, and teaching you different stretches or even different breath techniques as well, to either calm you down or get you a bit more fired up instead of having another cup of coffee. So that's a little bit of my backstory of why I created that.
That's amazing, Rochelle. I mean, we had a bit of a chat about it, but I wasn't fully comprehending how it works with this online platform. I love the 5-minute tidbits because that's exactly right. I have noticed a lot of practices now when they're doing lunch and learns, they are having a yoga component in it. Have you got longer ones for those type of things? And I think I heard someone the other day saying they did their first aid course, and then as part of that, they did yoga as well. Have you got longer pieces for people that can accommodate or do like to do more than the 5 minutes?
Yes, so there is a section that there's between 8 and 10 pre-recorded yoga classes now that are about, some are half an hour, some are a full hour. In the description, it will tell you like if it's going to be a strong practice or if it's going to be nice and gentle. We're also going to start doing some live ones as well on the platform once we get in a little bit more of a flow with it. So it might happen like on a Saturday morning or on a Wednesday evening or something, so people can jump on and off. Lots of different options, and that we will go out to practices as well for the afternoon, but that's more tailored to meet that practice as well.
Okay, excellent. With the 5-minute one, essentially they're just watching the screen and they're watching a pre-recorded session, and then you'll talk about how to stretch. Just from my perspective, how do you make sure that they're stretching properly and doing it correctly to not injure themselves?
Oh, that's a really good one. How I guide and teach, usually it's on a screen, so I can't see you. We do give different options. So I won't be going, let's all do a handstand together. Try and guide you through the different options as well. There's also a little comment box at the end. So if someone is a little bit unsure, then they can write something in of like, am I doing this correctly? I always say as well with things, you really need to feel it in your body because everyone skeletally is different. So what will work for one person won't work for another, but I try and guide people through the best I can, and hopefully that they are doing it to their depth, because like I said, everyone is different. At the time it is just, a nice little quick stretch between patients. So it's not as though they're going to be doing something for an hour, and it will just be that nice little snippet. And a lot of those as well are different breath work techniques. But if they are unsure, there's a comment box below so they can put something in there of like, am I doing this right?
That's fantastic. I remember Ross coming home one day and he was, I think he'd been to the physio or something, and I never realised that he was sort of, this is a podcast so people can't see me, but part of his side, it didn't even stretch because he was always leaning over the patient. And that's when we got the saddle chairs. So that was 20 odd years ago when it was first like, you've got to have a saddle chair to make sure you're sitting properly. I love now that you understand the dental industry so intimately. I was saying to my assistant before we came on, Deza, that you are so positive and you're so happy. And when you were talking about your story with your positivity and how you are with your mindset, I didn't realize it was through these breathing exercises and yoga and everything that you've done, especially since you've been in the industry for 27 years. I was thinking, wow, you look so young.
That's the thing, I've worked in some really high-end practices that have been really quite stressful, and amazing surgeons and dentists, but with that, there's a pressure to perform at a high level under stress, and for long periods of time as well. Instead of going home and choosing, sit and eat a bag of chips and watch Netflix, which sounds amazing, I chose to sit in a yoga studio or sit somewhere quiet. And as my practice progressed, you might have do it more in a morning at home by myself. But what I realized was my mind was much calmer in those situations where everyone around me was stressed. Because I was quite calm, it allowed other people to start calming down as well. Last thing we want is a patient to come in a really high stressful environment. Negativity feeds negativity, and positivity or calmness, it also feeds that. Can we do it as a practice? And just chose many years ago that this was what I was going to do.
And now it's being regulated as well for staff wellness, because obviously the government has understood that it is a real gap. And I think it's a gap in many industries, but you being so niche within the dental industry and doing those exercises bespoke to the industry because of, as you said, sitting in that small space over and hunched over, you've got those exercises that are doing it. It's a sort of a subscription that you have, a monthly subscription, which I thought seemed very good. Is it per person or per practice, Rochelle?
It is per person. But, if someone just wanted to buy one for the practice and everyone just logging together, then I just think the more people that are able to access it, the better for me, the better for everyone. So, you can either just buy it as a one practice login, or, you can buy it yourself and have it your own personal login. So I think it works out cheaper than Netflix per month. So I think it's like, if you're a practice owner investing in something like that for your staff, so they come to you and they're like, we're stressed or my back hurts, you're actually giving them a solution. You're saying, I know this is sometimes a quite difficult and demanding job, but at this practice, we care about you. We care about our patients. So we want that to be a whole. So therefore, we invest in health and wellness platform. And like I said, I have lots of friends that are yoga teachers that worked in corporate and behind a desk. And I said, it's completely different. You don't always have that time, and our bodies are in a very strange position. One of my friends who actually was an optometrist for years, he's now a personal trainer, and we speak daily actually. We talk about, he was kind of hunched over like this, staring in this little dark room all day, looking in people's eyes. And it's something that, I think as practice owners really need to look and go, how can we support our staff here? Because again, most patients that come in a practice are anxious. And if we have really lovely, calm staff, they can also pass on these breathing techniques to the patient as well. Just going back to something that you said as well, Michelle, like, how do I know if people are doing them right? My videographer who filmed my yoga is actually a yoga teacher of 15 years as well. So I had someone on the other end of the camera watching and going, hey, shall we just change that because I can do that? But Michelle, who's worked in the dental industry, never done yoga, is she going to be able to do that? So I had someone behind the camera that was very yoga informed as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it's only been out for a relatively short time, but have you got any feedback from people who have been utilising the program, Rochelle?
I have a little bit of feedback. A lot of the people really love the little 5-minute ones. Like I said, it's still relatively new. I've got a few people in the dental industry currently just trialing it and seeing how they go. So I suppose as time goes on, I'll get more feedback, but at the moment, everyone's enjoying it. You can also download an app on your phone to watch it as well. So there's a few little meditations on there, which a few weeks ago, I was actually in a clinic and the girls and I were sat in the lunchroom and I said, let's go into the dental surgery for our last 10 minutes of lunch because we got an hour. I'm going to turn off the lights and we're all going to listen to my meditation. Girls afterwards said, oh, that was really nice. I would never have thought to do that. I would have just sat doom scrolling on Instagram for another 10 minutes. So having that person in the practice that's going to instigate these of like, hey, shall we try something different? Just see how we feel after this.
With the app, is that part of the program as well, to download the app, or is that just a separate app that's a meditation app? So that's part of yours.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. I think, Rochelle, what you've said is obviously staff wellbeing, there's a huge turnover of team, and being able to offer that as part of the wellness program when they're coming into your clinic, as you said, it makes it a big thing. And this is why we're doing this HR series, because human resources, it's your biggest expense in every single dental practice. They're your biggest asset, but they can also be at the biggest pain, because if things aren't happening and the foundations aren't there in the culture, having something alongside like this to be able to do it, and now we're having to do it as it's a necessity. Somebody does need to be in the practice to be advocating that. I think they're calling them cultural managers now in the big corporates. I think some of the cultural managers are starting to come into the bigger dental practices as well, and the corporate practices as well. But that's something that you need to do. And I think the importance of it and what you're offering with those 5-minute tidbits is just absolutely fantastic, where you can do it. I can just see it on social media with everyone going, oh, we're doing our yoga or we're doing our meditation. Then patients think that that's amazing as well. Is there anything else that you'd like to share that we haven't discussed, Rochelle?
No, I think that's it really. Just talking about the 5-minute little bits as well. It's kind of that intro, because you've never done anything like this before, then an hour could seem really overwhelming. So just giving your staff this little bit of droplets of like, how you're feeling now, then they might be more inclined to do the bigger ones by themselves once they've got into it a little bit. But no, I think we've covered everything. Thanks, Michelle.
No, that's beautiful, Rochelle. Thank you so much for joining us today and for creating this amazing program, especially for dental practice owners, as you said, who are caring for people all day. Yeah. Really appreciate that you've shared what you've got, and I'm sure it'll take the industry by storm. For more information about Rochelle and her work, including links to her website and social media profiles, please check out the episode description. Thank you so much again, Rochelle. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed our time in learning more about your program, Just Breathe.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, Michelle.
Beautiful stuff. Thanks, Rochelle. Bye. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast or YouTube channel. Your feedback helps us continue delivering valuable content and insights from leaders in the dental industry. In our next episode of Dental Success Beyond Chairside, we'll be joined by Andrew Bland, Principal Lawyer of Bland's Law. If you've ever needed to performance manage a team member but hesitated due to concerns about conflict and disrupting harmony, Andrew's expertise in human relations, commercial law, and litigation offers invaluable insights. This is an episode you won't want to miss. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.